The first win may feel like the best, but Ricky Carmichael found one that feels just as good. Number 64. The number doesn't matter because RC has nothing left to prove there. 64 just happens to be his total motocross victories and the one that marks his return to racing. An emotional victory with a stamp that said, "I'm back." The bar has been set for the 250 motocross title. 11 more chances to bring Ricky Carmichael down from his perfect streak of 7 championships begins right here. Welcome you to Mount Morris, Pennsylvania for the 2004 AMA Chevrolet Motocross Championship. It's the 28th Thor Nationals at High Point Raceway presented by Kawasaki and Subway. And hello once again everyone, Todd Harris along with the founder and editor of RacerX magazine, Davey Coons. Glad to have him with us on a picture-perfect day in Pennsylvania. Well, as Chad Reed gets warmed up to look at the standings, it is all Ricky Carmichael by virtue of that big victory in Hangtown. Right now, let's check in with Davey Coons.
Well, before Ricky made his comeback at Hangtown, he decided to play a little mind game on everyone. He took his transponder off in practice. He didn't want the other guys to know how fast he was going in his comeback ride. Well, guess what? Here at High Point, a track he grew up on and is very comfortable on, he wore his transponder because he wanted everyone to know exactly how fast he was going. At the time, 2 seconds a lap faster in practice than Chad Reed and his primary rival here, Kevin Windham, a full 6 seconds faster. I'd say that not only is Carmichael's health back, looks like his confidence is back as well.
All right, thank you very much, Davey. As we take a look at those practice times, there you see Carmichael checking in at 2:18.3. Chad Reed, Michael Byrne, Tim Ferry, and David Villeman. Those are the fastest.
It's a long series, you know. I'm glad coming into this situation, I'm glad I have a 10-point lead and rather, you know, not 10 points ahead. So hopefully the weather will cooperate.
Well, Todd, if the weather doesn't cooperate, keep an eye on this guy, Team Yamaha's David Villeman. He's won here twice, both times when the weather did not cooperate for Carmichael.
As we look back to 2001, Mount Morris was the site. Ricky Carmichael would go out and get the whole shot, but Davey shortly thereafter, things fell apart. Number 4.
Well, he was going down the long hill where they have the step-down jumps on the first lap, got caught up in the ruts, and down he went, and that left the door wide open for Villeman, and there he went with it.
And he's hoping for the same results today.
You know, I like this track because you don't have to be pinned everywhere like a track like Millville or something like that. It's more like a technique and off camber, a little slippery, and I like those kind of tracks.
So Villeman looking forward to the action today at Mount Morris, Pennsylvania. Another guy looking to move back onto the podium is Kevin Windham. Had his problems at Hangtown, but looking for better performances here.
You know, it's been tough, you know. Every season I can't seem to start in a hole, and this is the shallowest of holes I've ever started in. So hopefully I can rebound this weekend and start a good season out and can continue and finish on a strong note.
Well, High Point Raceway has been on the AMA Chevrolet motocross course since all the way back in 1977. It's about a mile long. The average lap time is about 2:20 for a 250, 2:25 for a 125. And Ricky Carmichael has won here 4 times, twice on the 250, twice on the 125.
And it's only 15 miles from RacerX headquarters as we take a look at the Mount Morris weather today, 74 degrees. Now there's a 55% chance of showers, so we hope that rain will stay away until after the racing's done. Let's take a look at the Honda starting grid. There is Carmichael, Villeman, Windham, Reed, Sean Hamlin's in there, as is Craig Anderson, James Pavoni, Doug DeHaan, Blair Morgan, and the rest of the crew. Dave, you've been to this track a lot. Is there any part or any aspect of this track that's going to favor Carmichael or another rider?
Well, as aggressive as Ricky is and as wide as the track is, there's all kinds of room to be creative. The biggest problem Ricky's had here in the past is the ruts. The rain is his Achilles heel.
And we've got a clean start. Mount Morris, Pennsylvania, the High Point Raceway welcomes Ricky Carmichael back into the front he goes. Carmichael with the whole shot with a pair of Yamahas in tow.
Starts are definitely not his weakness this year. Man, does he get out of the gate on that big 450.
See, looks like Billiman in second. Oh, right there. Now that's where Ricky crashed a couple years ago. Gets through cleanly. That's Chad Reed in second. Then it looks like Hamlin on the two-stroke. No, I take it back. That's John Dowd making his first appearance of the year. John Dowd, 38 years old, the Suzuki rider, going to be in Canada later this summer, but there he is, and right there, Billiman comes by on the inside.
So it is Carmichael and Reed, 1 and 2, as we get things started here at the 28th Thor Nationals at High Point Raceway, presented by Kawasaki. And Subway and David Billiman, as you pointed out, has now moved into third place.
Yeah, you see Dowd is right there, and that looks like Clark Stiles in fifth on the Subway Honda. And tell you what, Billiman's got to get going because Carmichael, you can already see he's left the picture. You see Chad Reed in second there. They cross in the middle, and then they hit this big uphill double. Maybe we'll catch a glimpse of Carmichael. There he comes down in the off-camber.
So he's got about a 4-second lead right now over David Billiman. Billiman trying to work the magic that he had back in 2001 and hope that Ricky Carmichael has a bobble. You talked about the rain being Ricky Carmichael's Achilles heel. Well, you put it out perfectly, David. The start is definitely his strength, and his four-stroke seems to be working for him.
A lot of people thought that Ricky would have trouble adapting. You know, there was a lot of talk during the Supercross season, how he would come back, the fact that he's going to switch to Suzuki for next year. But I'll tell you what, from the moment I saw him at Hangtown, all through practice here at Mount Morris, he looks as comfortable as he ever has. He looks like he's riding slower, but he's going faster, if that makes sense.
Right now it is Carmichael, Reed, Billiman, and Dowd, your top four. This is moto number 1 from Mount Morris, Pennsylvania. David Billiman looking fast. There's Chad Reed coming to view, and Ricky Carmichael just in front of him.
You see him coming down Bradshaw Boulevard, one of the most famous parts of the High Point Circuit. Whoa, Ricky has a little bobble there. Reed closes up the gap. Like I was saying, Ricky has trouble in the ruts. And these are rain ruts probably left over from the big rain we had on Friday. Not as bad as it's been in the past, but nice looking track. And Reed looking very aggressive right now, more aggressive than he was at Hangtown.
Have you ever noticed that when Ricky Carmichael does have a bobble, he comes back so much faster and gets aggressive? Credit Chad Reed for sticking with it because Ricky is totally on the gas now.
Well, Carmichael has that Bob Hurricane Manor sort of method of recovery. Just spin it, hang on. Most of the time it pulls him out. You see him doubling down there. This is where he almost wrecked last time. Has a different line on the outside. But yeah, Carmichael's recovery time is instantaneous, and he seems to take off. It's like a mistake makes him mad or something.
Ricky Carmichael, your leader, Chad Reed in second place. David Billiman trying to track them down and joining the party. Carmichael goes extremely wide this time. And Davey, you talked about it, staying clear of the ruts, picking a new line.
Yeah, he looks a lot smaller on that 452 than he did this year. I don't know if it's because we haven't seen Carmichael all through Supercross, but it's weird to see the way he looks on the bike, the way he sounds, and the way he rides. He's not quite as wild as he was, but like I said, you know, it's like he's slowing down to go faster.
Kevin Windham now has moved into fourth place on board that big four-stroke Honda number 14, coming in behind David Billiman. It is still Ricky Carmichael out in front. What do you think the difference is this year for Kevin Windham? Last year, not as much pressure on him. This year, he's feeling the pressure?
Well, I think that it has to do with maybe the grind of the schedule. You know, he did the entire Supercross series this year, rode very well, closed out with a couple wins. But when he got to the Motocross series, I think that the pressure with Ricky Carmichael started to get to him just a little bit. And I think that it's starting to show in the way he's riding. He's not getting the starts he needs to race with Carmichael. Racing with John Dowd is not what he or Factory Connection had planned for this race.
Kevin Windham, number 14, after a great showing this year in Supercross, taking second to Chad Reed. Struggling here early on, but if I know Kevin Windham, he and the crew will figure it out before too long. Right now, he currently runs in fourth place. Just ahead of him is David Billiman.
Well, he needs to get a better start than this if he's going to run with Carmichael as they come down Bradshaw Boulevard.
So Kevin Windham trying to track down David Billiman, who currently sits in third, Chad Reed in second, and Ricky Carmichael out in front. Kevin Windham has his hands full, but it won't take long before he figures it out. Carmichael's your leader, and Davey Coombs is standing by with his mechanic, Mike Gosler, down on the field.
Mike, a great start for Ricky. Yeah, another one. Seems to be pretty easy on the 450. We'll see how the next one goes, too. Looks like he's having no problem with the starts either. Just stalled it. How do you get back to work?
Well, Ricky Carmichael had a momentary lapse and a loss of balance, tipped the bike over, able to keep it running. We'll find out how the drama plays out when we return to Mount Morris.
Do you have the right truck? The best-selling half-ton regular? and extended cab is now available as a crew cab. It's got more standard horsepower, more torque, and more towing capacity than Ford or Dodge half-ton crews. Introducing the new Silverado half-ton crew. It's the right truck from Chevy.
There's only one VTX 1800, the biggest, most powerful V-twin cruiser we've ever built, with a full line of accessories, so you can customize the VTX as extreme as you want to be. Right now, purchase a 2003 VTX 1800 and we'll give you $1,000 of Honda genuine accessories. There's even low 3.9% financing to turn our VTX into your VTX.
I want to talk about me, want to talk about fire, want to talk about barbecue on my knee.
Applebee's new Honey Barbecue Baby Back Ribs. Talk about good.
But for ribs like these, I want to talk Applebee's.
Eating good in the neighborhood.
For the best protection against water damage, one name says it all. Thompson's Water Seal, waterproofer plus wood protector for the highest level of water protection guaranteed. Thompson's Water Seal and Thompson's Water Seal Advanced, the most powerful protection against water damage.
This is a road like no other. This is the road to Omaha, the road to the College World Series. Catch the NCAA Super Regionals with ESPN College Grand Slam on pay-per-view. To order, call DirecTV, Dish Network, or your local cable company.
The 2004 AMA Chevrolet Motocross Championships are brought to you by Suzuki, maker of performance-driven motorcycles, scooters, and all-terrain vehicles. By Honda, the company that defines performance in motorcycles, ATVs, personal watercraft, and scooters. By Chevrolet, 10 new cars and trucks in 20 months. The new Chevrolet, an American revolution. And by Cycle World Magazine. Check out the 10 best bikes of 2004 in the July issue on newsstands now. And we welcome you back to the Thor Nationals High Point Raceway, Mount Morris, Pennsylvania. Todd Harris along with J.D. Coombs. This is Moto number 1 250 class. David Filliman is third, but more importantly, Ricky Carmichael is in second, and here comes Kevin Windham.
Well, I think that was Carmichael's first mistake since his comeback, and it seems to have breathed new life into both the Cobra and Kevin Windham. Chad Reed, of course, the leader right now, and this is a chance they probably were not expecting to get. See Kevin swing around wide now. Here, this is a really fast downhill. You got to pick a rut and stick with it. See Windham, or rather Filliman, take a little look over his shoulder there. Too early in the moto to be doing that, Dave.
It's amazing how a Ricky Carmichael bobble can give 4 new leases on life. And look at this, onto the outside, it's Kevin Windham makes the pass. And what is going on with Filliman right there? He's just letting off.
It just looked like he had a bad lap right there. Maybe he's just checking out, trying to do minimal damage. But, you know, that's the way this track works. It's a very rhythmic track. You have to get with the rhythm and stay with it. Mess up one section, a lot of times it carries over to the other, unless, of course, you're Ricky Carmichael, who we talked about earlier, has that ability to just blast his way through anything. And now he's got to blast his way back from falling over in that corner.
2004 Supercross champ Chad Reed out in front. Ricky Carmichael in second place. And you are exactly right. And the Hannah School of comeback. Carmichael goes to the inside and gets right past Chad Reed.
It was the exact same corner, and that time it was Reed that made the mistake. And I tell you, we didn't see Reed make the mistake like that almost all through Supercross.
So Ricky Carmichael moves back in front after Chad Reed held about a lap on that front row pace. And here it is now. The question is, can Reed stick with number 4 Carmichael?
Some tripling through that whoop section down there on the bottom. I tell you, these guys are riding very aggressively. You can see the ruts getting deeper and deeper as they go. And I'm not sure whose hands that plays into. Reed is considered a supercrosser, although he says he wants to change around and be known as an all-around rider. And Carmichael, not exactly the tallest guy out there. So we'll see how the track develops, who that helps out more.
Ricky Carmichael, your leader here, Moto number 1 250 class, the Thor Nationals High Point Raceway. Chad Reed sits in second, and then there's a huge gap to number 3, Kevin Windham.
See the fans cheering RC along. He may be from Florida, but the way the national schedule works out, this is maybe one of the closest races to where his core fan audience is. And a lot of people make the trek up here. Carmichael's been coming and riding the Team Green Spring Nationals ever since, it hasn't been since 1989 or so. So the fans here are very familiar with number 4, although his numbers changed. The color of his bikes have changed over the years, but fans still love RC here at High Point.
Love him or hate him, folks, you have to appreciate him and you have to respect his ability. As Ricky Carmichael comes through one more time, making the transition into 4-stroke. Chad Reed behind him, number 22 on board the Yamaha.
Well, as soon as he made that mistake, he seemed to regroup. He's starting to pull away a little bit, and that does not bode well for our third-place rider, Wyndham.
Kevin Wyndham showing some serious signs of life, having that small battle with David Villeman on board the Yamaha, but now the Honda is absolutely powering through the ruts here, and Villeman is nowhere to be seen.
Wyndham's another guy who rode a lot of amateur races here over the years. Made his national debut, or rather one of his better debuts as a rookie, all the way back in 1994. Led Doug Henry for almost the whole moto. And, he's had a love-hate relationship with High Point. He's never really been able to get to the top of the podium, but he's had some great races. And just last year, he and Carmichael went at it. I think everyone was anticipating a repeat of that battle, but again, if you don't start with Ricky, it's hard to finish with him.
Well said, Davey. Talk about this track you've been around for so long. Would you describe it as an extremely technical track for riders, and is that why some do not excel here and some do?
Well, I don't think it's that technical as far as the jumps go, but the ruts do make it so. He's dropped back. That's Keith Johnson, another privateer like John Dow. This is the first time we've seen him.
Ernesto Fonseca out there.
And Ernesto is back, exactly. I'm not sure. Ernesto might be the top 2-stroke right now.
Ernesto Fonseca coming off a serious knee injury that happened in the Supercross Series back in San Diego a long time ago. Good to see him back on the bike. He is struggling just a little bit, currently running in 8th place, as Davey pointed out, behind Keith Johnson.
I think the plan for Team Honda was to bring Ernesto back as late as July 4th weekend in Redbud, but I think he was chopping at the bit and ready to go. There he goes on the inside of Johnson. Johnson on the big 450 trying to sneak up, and you see him take a look back. He's going to give that spot up. Ernesto moves into 7th, and it's a pretty good comeback for him. I mean, he's riding in the premier class. He hasn't raced, like you said, since January, and not exactly an easy track to come back to.
That was Keith S. Johnson, number 63. Several Johnsons out there right now. We'll point him out correctly. That is Keith S. Johnson, getting passed by Ernesto Fonseca, number 24, on board the Honda. So Ernesto's coming back from that serious knee injury. Good to see him. Is his future with Honda secure as we take a look at another Honda, Kevin Wyndham?
Oh, well, no. I don't think it is, Todd. It's been an amazing, silly season with all the big changes. More to come. And I think Ernesto, and you see Keith R. Johnson this time getting hung up there. Looks like Steve Andrich.
Well, he came so close to clipping Johnson's left leg, and he actually hooked onto his handlebar there. And now gravity is neither one of these gentlemen's friends.
You see him stuck on the hill right there. I refer to this Johnson as the Albuquerque Johnson, and number 63, the other Keith Johnson, is the Southwick Johnson. You see this Johnson having problems getting the bike started back.
Back to 2nd place. Chad Reed, and look at Kevin Wyndham. Moments ago, Davey, Kevin Wyndham was nowhere to be seen after his own private battle with David Villeman. Now he's on the heels of Chad Reed. Reed currently sitting in 2nd, and here comes Kevin Wyndham. We talked about him figuring his track out eventually to win, and looks like he's got the clue solved.
Yeah, I'd say so. He's definitely picked up the pace a little bit. They come up to the top of one of the big hills. This is the battle for 2nd. Again, you can see the ruts getting a little deeper. It looked like Reed was getting around those corners real good, but Wyndham seems to pull him going down the hills.
Everyone making the switch, I'll say everyone, several top riders making the switch over to 4-stroke. Do you think it's factory pushed, or do you think it's personal preference?
Well, I think it started out being factory pushed, but after getting out there and riding those bikes, I think everyone's like, wow, these are pretty good. You see Wyndham coming down the inside. Both of these guys were bona fide 2-stroke riders coming up through, and now Reed swears by the YZ 450F outdoors, and Wyndham rides the 4-stroke Honda indoors and out. It's a sign of things to come. I know there's some 2-stroke diehards out there, among them number 259 in the 125 class. A couple more years, I hate to say it, but the sound of motocross is going to be just one giant bass drum. The bikes are getting that much better, that much quicker.
The cries of the thumpers are coming can be heard all across America. Chad Reed right now on board his Yamaha 450F, trying to hold off another 4-stroker in Kevin Wyndham. This is moto number 1 from Mount Morris, Pennsylvania. Chad Reed and Kevin Wyndham battling for that 2nd position. Look at this. Wyndham goes to the inside. does he have the drive to get to this ready section? Yes, he does.
And you saw him triple right there in the middle. I haven't seen anyone do that all weekend long. And he uses it to pass the Supercross champion. And now the question is, can Kevin Windham make up all that time he gave up to Carmichael? And he even got the bonus when Carmichael fell over. It's might be too little too late, but the way he's going right now, it can happen. He's just got to keep moving forward, get away from Reed as fast as he can.
Kevin Windham, number 14, goes into second place, and Chad Reed is off the course. Out of camera view right now, you can see him just going by. Chad Reed just goes a little bit left, pulls a crazy Ivan. I don't know what's going on here.
Watch this. He almost gets his photographer, too. You see him looking the other way, right through the repeater banners, goes through the Parks Unlimited. You know, if that were pennants, the old string pennants, that might have been a problem. You can see he's able to ride right around, get back on the track. He won't lose any positions from the AMA motocross guys because he didn't do anything wrong.
Your leader, Ricky Carmichael, out in front. We come back to conclusion of Moto number 1.
Detroit versus Los Angeles, the NBA Finals on ABC. Can Ben Wallace and the Pistons D put the brakes on Shaq and Kobe? Pistons-Lakers Game 1. Coverage begins at 8:30 Eastern tomorrow night on ABC.
Some kids want to be motocross stars. Your kids want to be just like you. No matter what your age or ability, Suzuki's got you covered with a full line of off-road and trail bikes for you and your family. Suzuki.
Let's play. Play. When the battles begin, you never know where the heroes will come from. NBA Finals on ABC. The Chronicles of Riddick in theaters.
Drop into Board Stories 5 days a week. Mondays at 10, Tuesdays and Saturdays at 9:30, and Wednesdays and Fridays at 4:30 p.m.
This week on Board Stories,
we've got crazy tandem action from the west side, downhill carving, and some sick surf.
So don't forget to tune in.
Also be on the lookout for additional airings of Board Stories on Oceanic Cable 16. Board Stories is proudly brought to you by Locomotion and Cholo's Homestyle Mexican Restaurant.
One of the best gifts you can give your child is a lasting commitment to good health. Please take time to share with your children the benefits of staying active and eating well. It's something you can do today that will give them the best chance of a strong and healthy tomorrow.
Get healthy now by encouraging your children to have fun for 5 days a week of active play, and 5 a day. A daily diet that includes 5 servings of fruits and vegetables.
Good health is a gift that can last a lifetime.
We're going back 10 years ago this very weekend when Kevin Windham entered his second ever national at Mount Morris while he was actually still an amateur in 1994. Windham pulled the whole shot in his first national at Mount Morris to lead a fast Georgian named Ezra Lusk and the champion Doug Henry. Henry quickly worked his way past Lusk, and though it seemed like the rookie would be easy to take down, 7 laps went by and Henry was still trying. The champ lost the front end coming out of an off camber, and Windham pulled out a 10-second lead. 30 minutes into the moto, and Henry, Lusk, and Steve Lamson were battling for second. A fight that put Lusk right off the track. Last lap at front, Windham finds trouble. Not accustomed to a 35-minute moto, Henry easily overtakes the young rookie for the win. For Windham, though, it's a phenomenal debut performance. A third-place performance in Moto 2 is enough for Henry to take his first overall of the year. Jeff Emig wins the moto while Windham ends up 5th overall. And we are back to racing in the present day. Mike Gosler gets set to flash some numbers to Ricky Carmichael. A 2:19.5 his last lap time and a 2:24.4 not a bad spread. I get those odds anywhere.
Yeah, I don't think that Wyndham is actually making up any time anymore based on what Goose just put out on the board. But Carmichael really starting to find the flow here at High Point, starting to pull away. And there you can take a look way back in the pack. That's about fifth. This is Michael Burns going through some lapped riders, and it looks like Ernesto Fonseca. Now, this is one of those two-stroke battles. It's the KX250 and the CR250. And Ernesto riding pretty good. I'm very impressed for a guy who sat out, 4 months.
Yeah, no question. Ernesto Fonseca coming off a serious ACL knee injury. He suffered back in January of the Supercross season. And like Ricky Carmichael, he is shaking the rust off. But unlike Ricky Carmichael, he's not out in front. He is currently in a battle for fifth with that man. Number 26, Michael Byrne of Australia.
Coming down the big hill. Now, here's the whoop section where Carmichael was able to go 3 and 3, and you see these guys going 2 and 2. Right there might be a telltale sign of that four-stroke power, although I did see a certain green 125 rider do it in practice. Kind of blew everyone's mind. But Ernesto trying to, I don't know if he's going to have 35 minutes in him, but then again, I didn't think he'd be going this fast at this point.
So Ernesto Fonseca trying to pick off Michael Byrne as they continue to battle for fifth place. Ricky Carmichael coming through one more time. And he will take the white flag. So it's Carmichael on the last lap here at the AMA Thor Nationals at High Point Raceway. 28th running of this fantastic event, Davey.
Well, Carmichael, you see him giving the crowd the thumbs up going over the big triple. I just can't say enough about how impressed I am the way he came back. Usually, like look at Ernesto. He's been out longer than Fonseca, and we're impressed that Fonseca's back there battling for sixth. What about this guy? I mean, he's got one race under his belt. He's won both motos at Hangtown. Now here he is, almost got the first moto in the bag, way out front. He even fell down at one point. Carmichael coming back absolutely 100%. And there he goes over the big Dunlop doubles. Wasn't doing that earlier. It was a little slick coming out. That's one of his signature moves here at Mount Morris. You can hear the fans cheer. But, wow, Carmichael, he definitely had a good plan to come back when he did.
Well, come back of the year last year would have to be given to Kevin Wyndham because he was absolutely phenomenal. But this year, Ricky Carmichael's comeback has been nothing but spectacular. And just think, he's going to make this 3 motos in a row coming off that knee surgery. That is unbelievable.
And remember last year when Wyndham came back, he had been off for much longer. And I think that part of his hiatus was as much mental as it was physical. In Carmichael's case, I think it became mental with the team change back on April 2nd to Suzuki for next year, the switch to the four-stroke, and just the fact that I think a lot of people really started to write him off. I think, at the beginning of the Outdoor Nationals, I think that people really assumed Kevin Wyndham would be the champion. But now, almost 3 motos into it, I think Carmichael picked up exactly where he left off, maybe even faster than when he left off the 2003 AMA Chevrolet Motocross Series.
Ricky Carmichael flashing yet another color combination for the boys at Fox, running the black and orange here on board his 4-stroke Honda. The number 4 once again out in front, and Ricky Carmichael on his way to picking up his 3rd straight moto victory, this time at Mount Morris, Pennsylvania. Your winner in the 250 class, number 4 from Havana, Florida, Ricky Carmichael.
Well done, champ. That's a pretty impressive first moto.
We'll be back to talk to Ricky after this short break.
Riding teaches responsibility, builds confidence, and can turn children into champions. I wanna ride, I wanna ride, I wanna ride. Gonna ride it, gotta ride it. Gonna ride it, gotta ride it. Ride it, gotta ride it. The 4-stroke CRFs from Honda. Every champion needs a good start. Now get up to $200 in bonus bucks with the purchase of select CRF models.
couldn't stand looking at the lawn. Sorry.
Need help with lawn care? Ace Hardware has the people and products you need to help keep your lawn looking great. Ace, the helpful place.
Italians say, bring a new dish to the table and you'll bring smiles to everyone.
You're smiling.
So try Olive Garden's 2 new dishes to smile about. Parmesan-crusted chicken in a garlic cream sauce or new Parmesan-crusted shrimp. Olive Garden, when you're here, you're family.
Welcome back to Mount Morris, Pennsylvania. High Point Raceway for the Thor Nationals. Let's send it down to Davey Coombs.
Well, Ricky, way to come back to High Point and lay down the law in the first moto.
Thanks a lot. I got a killer start. I got the whole shot, and I was riding, first lap and a half, and then I laid it down. Chad was behind me, and I just went in the turn, and my back end hopped out of the rut, and I went down. But that was a fun ride. Finally, I got to battle, and it was good.
As we take a look at the Suzuki final results, it's Carmichael, Wyndham, Reed, Villeman, and Tim Ferry, your top 5. Fonseca finishes in 7th. Right now, let's send it back down to the track where Davey Coombs is caught up with Kevin Wyndham.
Kevin, good ride for second, but it looks like he just couldn't get that gap on RC.
Well, no, that's the worst guy in the world to give a lead to, and he can say the same thing about me sometimes, and I just wish I could have got up there, with him in the beginning. But I had about I don't know, maybe 6th, 7th start. It wasn't terribly bad, but Ricky, of course, checked out pretty quick.
Well, folks, nobody does more to protect your right to ride than the American Motorcyclists Association. Every racer on the track is an AMA member. How about you? Call 1-800-AMA-JOIN or visit AMADirectLink.com. The AMA writes, riding, and racing. Right now, it's time to go outside the line. Motocross has become the unofficial universal recreational sport for many of today's top athletes. The day jobs for most of these guys is on the mountain, in the street, and down the slopes. But today, it's on the track with RC and K-Dub.
That's some hard work. I never get this tired skating. Very hot, very hot. I'm doing good, man. It's just trying to get used to the track. It's a little slick. And I hate knocking this thing down because it's too hard to start, man. Just to ride with all these guys and get an idea of just how fast and hard those pros ride is just unbelievable. I've always thought it was a great sport, and seeing them ride like that and just getting passed by them is the coolest thing in the world, man, because they're so fast. It's awesome. I love it.
Have them zip by every once in a while and roost me and smell the exhaust, that's good stuff. They're just all like, kind of like, just put in 3rd gear and, like half throttle and, just go off the jump. And there's a lot more to it than just that, so.
I'm going to show you how much mud I get out here, Just get hammered by these boys. It's pretty fun, though. Just keep the head down.
Number 14 keeps cutting me off. I don't know who he is, but I'm going to have a talk with him.
Okay.
Oh, there he is.
Oh, hey, what's up? I think anytime that Ricky and I ride together, it's almost like we have something to prove, and a lot of people watch us and trying to see how to bet for this weekend.
What did I get out of this? I got sweaty, tired, exhausted, and I learned a lot. Anybody that went by me on a factory bike learned how to duck out of the way of their roost. Life's too short to not have fun, man. I might as well live it now, When I'm old, I'll sit on the side of the road and sell, like, trinkets or something. But in the meantime, if I can walk, I'm going to have fun.
When we come back, it's back to their day jobs. Moto number 2 from Mount Morris after this.
Suzuki Summer Sizzler is here with incredible deals. Stop into your Suzuki dealer today for some of the hottest financing available. Payments are $45 per month at 5.95% APR for 36 months on approved credit when you buy select Quad Runner and Quad Sport ATVs. Get the Quad Runner ATV you want at a price you'll love. That's Summer Sizzler. Stop into your Suzuki dealer today.
Hey, Brad. Hi, Steve. There's an Echo in your garage. Yeah. My new Echo grass trimmer. It has iStart.
Echo's iStart technology reduces starting effort by 75%. And with Rapid Loader, line changes are now lightning fast. Put an Echo in your garage. For your nearest dealer, call 1-800-432-ECHO.
And that's halftime. You know, on a more personal note, I think we'd all like to spend more time with our kids.
Promised he wouldn't.
Sit down over a nice meal together.
He's right.
My favorite place is Wendy's. Junior bacon cheeseburgers, side salad, chicken nuggets. They're 99 cents each, so lunch doesn't cost much, and it's nice after the game.
Are you with Wendy's?
Oh, unofficially.
The 99-cent super value menu at Wendy's. It's better here.
Well, hi, honey. I'm almost done.
And our pickup window's open till midnight or later.
Let's get it started. Detroit versus Los Angeles. The NBA Finals on ABC. 15 years ago, the Bad Boys took on Showtime. Now there's a new team of superstars in LA, and they're shooting for a fourth title in 5 years. Can Ben Wallace and the Pistons deep put the brakes on Shaq and Kobe? Kobe puts it up. Pistons Lakers, Game 1. Coverage begins at 8:30 Eastern tomorrow night on ABC.
Welcome back to Pennsylvania, the 28th Thor Nationals at High Point Raceway, presented by Kawasaki and Subway. Right now, let's check in with my partner, Davey Coombs.
Well, now that Ricky proved in the first moto that he can definitely ride a thumper here at High Point, the biggest concern in the Honda pits was whether or not the weather would work out. Ricky's had some problems over the years here in the mud, but it seems like it's held off. A little bit of a drizzle is falling. One other thing to keep an eye on, number 14, the rider right next to him, Kevin Windham. Kevin said he can't beat Ricky unless he starts with him. First moto starts 6th or 7th. Looking for a better start from number 14.
Looking for a better start, looking for a power washer. They've got to clean that bike. Anyways, Kevin Windham on the line, number 14. Ricky Carmichael's there, and he is being sandwiched in between Windham and Tim Ferry. And there you see our Honda starting grid as we get set for Moto number 2 here at Mount Morris, Pennsylvania. Well, Davey, size up the field. Everyone's going to be chasing Carmichael. You got to keep him from getting that hole shot and checking out.
Well, here he comes up the inside. Oh, and it looks like Windham got the jump this time. Windham on the inside, Carmichael right behind him, and that looks like Heath Voss, the World Supercross champ, with a good start. David Billman up there. Where is Chad Reed?
Kevin Windham picks up the hole shot here in Moto number 2, Mount Morris, Pennsylvania. Ricky Carmichael won Moto number 1. This will be a great showdown as Heath Voss slides into the 3rd position.
You can hear the air horns blaring, you know. Kevin Windham, almost as popular here at Mount Morris as Carmichael is. And there you see Carmichael tripling the first 2, and Windham does the middle, or rather the first 3. Windham does the middle 3 there. Different lines, both pretty fast. Already starting to gap the field a little bit.
Well, he talked about Kevin Windham saying Ricky Carmichael's the wrong guy to give any kind of lead to. Let's see if he can turn the tables on. And remember, the second moto carrying more weight. So if Kevin Windham could pick up a victory here, he would get the overall.
Sure, and you can see the ruts a little deeper this time around. You see Kevin looking a little hesitant. All the riders trying to feel it out. They did get a parade lap right before the start of the moto, but lots of lines, lots of ruts. You got to be careful. You don't want to do what Ricky did last time, which is fall early on, although he was able to recover quickly. You know, Voss running 3rd. There you finally get a look at Chad Reed back in 5th. 3 Yamahas coming down the long hill into those ruts, but you know, Reed's put himself in the same hole that Windham did the first moto, just starting too far behind number 4.
It'll take 30 minutes, be plenty of time to track him down. Not the case, my friend. When Ricky Carmichael and Kevin Windham out there on 4 strokes with clean air in front of them, it's going to be a very tough task. As you pointed out, the 3 Yamahas, there's Voss, Billman, and Reed going 3, 4, and 5, and they are going very gingerly through these ruts. And these guys make it look so easy, but the problem is, Davey, the guys out in front are just blitzing.
Wow, right there, Billman and Reed must have passed each other back and forth 4 times, just trying to feel their way through that off-camera section. There's a little double down there. It's actually a natural double. It's been there for years. And now, right away, Reed goes into 3rd. So he has done all he can here on the first lap to make up for that bad start. Doubling down there.
Get out is really picking it down.
Getting Voss between himself and Billman.
And also notice Ernesto Fonseca with a good start. He's right out of your picture. He is the 6th place rider and top 2-stroke.
Well, let's talk about Chad Reed. You're an industry insider. If Chad Reed stays at Yamaha,
he would be crazy to leave. Right there you see Billman go by in the 4th, but yeah, Chad would be crazy to leave. They won a Supercross championship. They've won more Supercrosses in the last 2 years than anyone, and I know they got some problems with the color of the equipment and outside sponsors and this and that, but you know, when you win championships, you get paid. He's proven he can win with Yamaha. Yamaha's proven they can win with Reed. They got to stay together.
No question about that, and I think they can work out those little minor details and keep Chad Reed in blue or some other combination color thereof. Well, we digress momentarily. Back to our leaders. It is Kevin Windham out in front, number 14. On board the Amstel Chaparral Honda. Right behind him, the factory Honda of Ricky Carmichael. Number 4, both men running 4 strokes right now here. This is Moto number 2.
And you can see, Todd, they've already started to get a little more aggressive, and they also changed their lines through that section. So the first lap, you're kind of feeling it out, and then you got to start picking it up. And I'm sure that Carmichael, just his very presence at the top of the field, changes the pace, especially in outdoor motocross. And Windham doing all he can to get away. High Point Faithful giving him the go-ahead early here in the 2nd moto.
Well, Davey, for someone who knows these ruts well, they're a lot deeper than they look on TV.
And they're deeper, and the guys are going really fast in those sections. You get a little cross-run. We saw it happen to Chad Reed in the first moto, and he got lucky because he just went through that repeater. But you do it in this section, you might go off into the woods.
Unbelievable how they just slingshot out of there, bury that back wheel, and throttle through it. Here comes Ricky Carmichael on the inside trying to get a good drive on Kevin Windham. Windham continues to lead here in Moto number 2, and Carmichael patient as can be, and I know it's something, a word that's not really normally in Ricky's arsenal, patience, but right now the champ is using some wisdom here, not pushing it too much, because he knows if he has the same problem he had in Moto 1, dumping it, it's going to give Kevin Windham way too much time out in front.
Yeah, well, you know, this is the new Ricky. This is the older and more mature Ricky. And you know, the time that he had off of that injury, I think he really reassessed his game plan, and he's starting to think about longevity in his career. You know, it was one of the big sticking points with Honda is how long he would get to stay with Team Honda. And you know, he doesn't want to have another 4-month injury or 6-month injury or whatever. So he's riding more patient. That's paid off the first 3 motos, but I don't know how patient you can be with this guy out front.
Yeah, no question about that. I wonder if the panic mode kicks in here in the very near future. Carmichael, though, staying right with Kevin Windham, your leader here, Moto number 2 from Mount Morris, Pennsylvania. Todd Harris along with Davey Coombs, and we have got a great day. And you see right there, Windham taking a look over his left shoulder.
And again, they do that different line there. Windham goes 2, 3, and 1. Carmichael 3, 3. It's probably even because Windham can go on the inside of that off camera, scrub a little time there. Carmichael goes outside, he finishes quicker, but you know, he's not going to be able to make a pass there. If he's going to get to him, it's going to have to be to do some of these ruts, but you know, Windham riding right down the middle of the track, and that Honda looks wide when he doesn't let any mistakes come into his game.
It's amazing, too, how Ricky just flings that bike, a much heavier bike, I might add, the 4-stroke. When he gets to those ruts, being shorter than Kevin Windham, he has to really lean it over, drop the foot in. Look at that. That is textbook Carmichael. Unbelievable. Carmichael starting to close in just a little bit on Kevin Windham. This is Moto number 2 from Mount Morris, Pennsylvania High Point Raceway. We'll be back with more Moto 2 action after this short break.
Introducing the 15 new Chevy Colorados. The most mid-sized trucks ever unleashed. Chevy Colorado. An American revolution.
For the best protection against water damage, one name says it all. Thompson's Water Seal, waterproofer plus wood protector for the highest level of water protection guaranteed. Thompson's Water Seal. Thompson's Water Seal Advanced, the most powerful protection against water damage.
I want to talk about me, want to talk about fire, I want to talk about barbecue on my name.
Applebee's new Honey Barbecue Baby Back Ribs. Talk about good.
But for ribs like these, I want to talk Applebee's.
Eating good in the neighborhood.
We play to win.
Ain't nobody touch me. You cost us the game. You have an obligation to be a role model.
Look, I just want to play football.
Playmakers, the complete ESPN series.
We sent him to you so that he would play.
Compelling, provocative.
Are you getting rid of me?
And powerful.
Who is she?
With smash mouth extras.
I will snap you at the knees.
See the controversial series everyone is talking about.
This is who you are.
On Playmakers.
What's OKC? See what these fine kids have to say about it.
It's about savings. I need a tax shelter. I need a tax shelter. I'm gonna buy a subdivision.
Hey OKC members, present your OKC card and receive $60 off the regular annual pass price at Hawaiian Waters Adventure Park. Or show your card and one child gets in free for each paying Kama'aina adult to the magic of Polynesia, Hawaii's ultimate stage spectacular.
The OKC card. It saves on kids.
Drop into Board Stories 5 days a week, Mondays at 10, Tuesdays and Saturdays at 9:30, and Wednesdays and Fridays at 4:30 p.m. This week on Board Stories,
we've got crazy tandem action from the west side, downhill carving, and some sick surf.
so don't forget to tune in. Also be on the lookout for additional airings of Board Stories on Oceanic Cable 16. Board Stories is proudly brought to you by Locomotion and Cholo's Homestyle Mexican Restaurant.
And we welcome you back to Mount Morris, Pennsylvania. This is stop number 2 of the AMA Chevrolet Motocross Championship. Todd Harris along with Davey Coombs. Your leader continues to be Kevin Windham, but that may be changing shortly.
Wow, you saw Carmichael come around the outside. He got a hook in him there. Windham tried to square that up. Now down Bradshaw Boulevard, side by side. Gives him a look over, and Carmichael is on the inside. And just again, Windham messed up right there at the beginning of that section, and it took him out for the whole section, and that's all Ricky needed.
Like blood in the water to a great white, Carmichael smells the bobble and just flies past and gets a tear off the boot in. This kid is amazing.
Now the question is, how quick can Windham retaliate? He's got to stay with RC right here. And we saw Ricky pass Reed back after that mistake in the first moto. Can Windham do the same this time?
So Ricky Carmichael out in front looking for the sweep here at Mount Morris, Pennsylvania. Remember, he won Moto number 1. A 1-1 would keep the streak alive in 2004, giving him 4 straight. And Carmichael has a few bobbles, Davey, but he seems to recover so fast.
Well, again, like you're talking about, that's the Bob Hanna method. Just get on the gas and go. You can see they come through the wood section. It's the only dusty part on the track. Looks like the rain's going to hold off, play into Ricky's favor.
So Carmichael's out in front. He is starting to space between Kevin Windham, and a checkered flag looks to be in Carmichael's near future. A fantastic ride for the young man who is coming off serious knee surgery. Right now, let's send it down to Davey Coombs, who is caught up once again with Mike Gosler, Ricky Carmichael's chief mechanic.
Well, Goose, I'm not sure, but on my clock, that might have been Ricky's fastest lap of the day. That was a 2:14.
Yeah, that was definitely the fastest of the weekend. He's cooking right now.
Yeah. You think that inspired him starting behind Windham like that?
Yeah, I think that's what he kind of wanted. He wanted to see what Windham's got, you know, and kind of not show him all his lines right away. He was hoping Windham would get off to a good start.
He didn't stay behind him long.
No, definitely not too long.
Long enough, though.
Mike Gosler there checking in with Davey Coombs and giving the update on his rider, Ricky Carmichael. As we shift back, this is the battle for 9th place. Number 30 is Craig Anderson. Number 27 is Nick Way. Nick Way on board the Suzuki. And with the addition of Ricky Carmichael next year, it makes a very crowded trailer. Davey, what do you think's going on in Nick Way's mind? Do you think that's weighing heavy on his mind?
It's got to be, because right now he ought to be racing for his job. If he doesn't speed it up here, we might be seeing him in Des Moines for the first arena cross, because Suzuki put a lot of budget out for Carmichael, and I think that Nick was thinking top 5 for the Nationals, not top 10.
Craig Anderson out of Australia, number 30, well-documented cousin of Chad Reed, the 2004 Supercross champion. Taking a look over his shoulder, Nick Way just puts him up high and takes that line and takes the position. So Nick Way, the very talented rider out of Michigan, as Davey pointed out, maybe feeling a little pressure from Suzuki to step it up just a little bit. And I will say this, he does have the talent. There's no question about Nick Way's ability.
Sure. And you saw Ando hold it on right there. Yep. Get back by him on the Motorsport Outlet Honda. So you've got Craig Anderson with 2 factory riders behind him. Another guy who ought to be thinking about his future, Mike Byrne, back there in 11th right now. He had a good first moto, but, you know, again, these guys did not get very good starts, and they're struggling on the 2-strokes against these 4-strokes here.
Nick Way on the left, number 27, on board the Suzuki. Craig Anderson on board the Honda, number 30. They are swapping positions and hence swapping positioning and leaderboard position. But it is Craig Anderson who seems to be picking the wiser lines at this point. Keep checking over his shoulder, watching out for that yellow bike of Nick Way. Anderson taking a much better line there, much more aggressive. He's holding his position, forcing Nick Way to go to the outside, uncharted territory for Nick Way, and he is slipping back on that position. So we are watching the battle for ninth place between Craig Anderson and Nick Way. This is Mount Morris, Pennsylvania, stop number 2 of the Outdoor Nationals. Michael Byrne, number 26, on board the Kawasaki, battling for 11th place. Down the hill they come. It is still Carmichael out in front, Kevin Windham in second. We're going to take one more quick break. When we come back, we'll wrap this thing up from Mount Morris.
It's Suzuki Summer Sizzler. Step into your Suzuki dealer for scorching deals on awesome select Suzuki motorcycles. Financing is as low as 4.95% APR when you buy select Suzuki motorcycles on approved credit. Or how about a cruiser touring package, which includes a windshield and saddlebags? Stop by your Suzuki dealer today for the smokinest deal on your new Suzuki motorcycle. For the hottest deals on the coolest wheels, come on down to the Suzuki Summer Sizzler.
So she's laying down linoleum.
Hey, isn't that Marty Wenzel's dog?
What's the matter, girl? Is Marty in trouble? You need a hatchet, a hammer. You need potting soil. You need a cordless phone, a chainsaw, a crowbar.
Wall paint?
Need help choosing a paint color?
Mandy?
Come in and we'll help you choose the perfect color of Ace Royal Touch Paint. Ace, the helpful face.
Italians say, bring a new dish to the table and you'll bring smiles to everyone.
You're smiling.
So try Olive Garden's 2 new dishes to smile about. Parmesan-crusted chicken in a garlic cream sauce or new Parmesan-crusted shrimp. Olive Garden, when you're here, you're family.
Hey, Brad! Hi, Steve. There's an Echo in your garage. Yeah. My new Echo grass trimmer. It has iStart.
Echo's iStart technology reduces starting effort by 75%. And with Rapid Loader, line changes are now lightning fast. Put an Echo in your garage. For your nearest dealer, call 1-800-432-ECHO.
The 2004 AMA Chevrolet Motocross Championships are brought to you by Suzuki, maker of performance-driven motorcycles, scooters, and all-terrain vehicles. By Honda, the company that defines performance in motorcycles, ATVs, personal watercraft, and scooters. By Chevrolet, 10 new cars and trucks in 20 months. The new Chevrolet, an American revolution. And by Cycle World magazine. Check out the 10 best bikes of 2004 in the July issue on newsstands now. And we are back to the Thor Nationals High Point Raceway, Mount Morris, Pennsylvania. Todd Harrison, Davey Coombs, glad to have you along. It looks like the rain is going to hold up so we can finish up this Moto number 2. And for Ricky Carmichael, that is good news. Maybe not such good news for Kevin Windham, who was leading the first half of this race, Davey.
Well, he was, but he made that mistake coming up the big off camber, and that was basically the last he saw of Ricky. I think everyone here thought that he would be a little more aggressive and stay on the attack, but Kevin's lost some room there, and now that the moto's worn in and Ricky's getting in the lap riders, maybe he can make that time back up, but you know, he's put himself in a big hole as far as catching Carmichael in this moto goes.
Kevin Windham currently sitting in second place, was passed halfway through this moto. Ricky Carmichael out in front of you. Get a look at Mike Gosler, Carmichael's chief mechanic, getting ready to flash him some more numbers. So Gosler shows Carmichael the words that he needs to see, and this is the battle for fifth. Right now, Fonseca and number 36, Sean Hamlin, also on board of Suzuki. We talked about Nick Way and his Suzuki future. What about Sean Hamlin?
Well, I think he's kind of in the same boat. You know, Suzuki put a big chunk of money out for Carmichael. And you know, the problem with Suzuki, well, it's not a problem, but the dilemma they have, what the heck is number 199 going to do? Travis Pastrana decides to stay be like really focused on racing, which he says he is now. He's just waiting for 2005 to start. Suzuki would be crazy not to have him out there. So that kind of puts Hamlin away and some of these other riders like Brandon Jessman, who's missing from the 125 class right now. It puts their futures kind of in limbo. They don't know what's going to happen.
We talked about the futures. There we see Ernesto Fonseca getting some words from Kenny Germain. Very interesting. Be smooth, be strong. There's his lap time, 2:25. Let's send it down to Davey.
Well, Kenny Ernesto's quietly putting in a very impressive ride. He's 5th right now. He's also a top 2-stroke.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, it's a good way to look at it. Yeah, you know, he's riding good, and he's pretty much right where we were hoping to be, and he's looking pretty good at the moment.
Glad to be back on the job.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot of fun, David.
Well, a good return for Ernesto Fonseca and his mechanic, Kenny Germain. Glad to see Ernesto just out and riding, and I'm sure his speed will pick up as the Nationals move on. The white flag is out. That means one more lap for your leader, RC Ricky Carmichael, on board the factory Honda out of Havana, Florida. And Carmichael doing what a lot of people weren't sure he'd be able to do, Davey, but he is proving the critics wrong and really making the fans appreciate his return.
Yeah, he sure is. I think no one realized how much they would miss Ricky Carmichael until he was gone for a little while. And now that he's back, you can hear the fans cheering for him. I don't think he'll be booed when he comes back for Supercross in 2005. But right now, he's got a little more urgent problem. Wyndham has scooted back up on him.
There you see the fastest lap times, and look at that, Kevin Wyndham at 2:15.7. So he is right in the wheelhouse of Carmichael. Both men the only ones to turn in sub 2:16.
Yeah, Carmichael's mechanic had him with an unofficial 2:14 a little earlier. I thought that was pretty quick, but yeah, they're just riding a lot faster than all the Yamahas out there. You know, Carmichael's just put in a really smart fluid moto. He didn't have the whole shot, but he rode smart. And there he laps Heath Voss, who actually started out 3rd way back at the beginning of this 35-minute moto. And now, just a corner to go for Carmichael before he gets another win. And when you add them all up, Todd, this would be number 98, Supercross and Motocross combined. Unbelievable for a 24-year-old.
So let it be written, your winner at the Thor Nationals High Point Raceway, Ricky Carmichael, once again comes to High Point and walks away with a victory. Carmichael with a stellar performance once again in the 250 class. And the Suzuki final results look like this. Carmichael, Wyndham, Reed, Villeman, and Fonseca rounding out your top 5. Sean Hamlin and John Dowd finishing in 7th. Well, a great day at Mount Morris. Right now, let's send it down to Davey Coombs and Ricky Carmichael.
Well, champ, by my count, I guess that's 98 overall wins. You're closing in on 100, and you did it in style, a 1-1, undefeated so far in your comeback.
Oh, it's awesome, I tell you, Davey. I'm really, really happy. I had to work for it today. I failed the first moto and battled it out with Chad, and in the second moto, Kevin got the start. I'm glad he got the whole shot, you know, because I don't want people to start saying, oh, he always gets the start and this and that. So I told my mechanic, I'm like, man, I hope he gets a start because I want to race with him and, you know, do some battle. That's what you work so hard for in the offseason, and it was good.
Your overall results look like this. It's Carmichael, Wyndham, and Reed. They'll be standing on the podium. Fonseca finishes in the top 5. A great performance by him. Let's send it back down to Davey Coombs.
Well, Kevin, that was a solid ride, but he just got that little bit on you early.
Yeah, we were, like, towards the end, we were running 18s, man. The opening laps, I laid down some 15s and was trying to open something up, but it didn't happen for me. He was able to make the pass, and later in the race, I started changing my lines a little bit. I started feeling really good, but, you know, Ricky knows when to throw it down and when to reserve. So I'm disappointed he got the gap, but I'm happy that I was able to finish the second moto strong and, you know, a lot better than in Sacramento. Move on to Southwick and try to get some momentum rolling my way.
Well, the point standings after 2 rounds, it's Carmichael, a perfect 100 points. Wyndham in second, 16 points back, and Chad Reed in third. Speaking of Chad Reed, he's with Davey Coombs.
Chad, that was a good ride all afternoon, but the first lap, those Hondas got away.
Yeah, definitely. You know, they did what me and Ricky did in the first one, and yeah, that's what you need to do. And I felt better in the second one. My bike was a lot better. You know, I thank the team for that. And you know, those guys just got away, and they were a little frustrated as well. But you know, I feel like I'm getting there slowly, and everybody's sticking behind me. You know, all the guys at Thor, Parts Unlimited, and Bridgestone, Scott, just having fun out there and trying to get closer and closer every weekend.
Last question: how fun was it jumping that triple?
Oh, it's a lot of fun, you know, just that 450 has so much horsepower and the Dunlop jump, things like that. I didn't do that this year, but you know, it's a lot of fun getting out there doing big jumps like that. And I had a good weekend, you know, 3-3, consistent, same as the last race. So need to change that.
Chad Reed will definitely be heard of as we take a look at our next air date, the 20th of June, 12 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Eastern, for Southwick from Massachusetts, the 125, followed by the 250 show. On behalf of my good colleague, Davey Coombs, I'm Todd Harris saying so long from Mount Morris, Pennsylvania. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com. Your winner, Ricky Carmichael.
The NHRA Sportsman Drag Race
Ram Airhawk High Performance Air Filter. When it comes to your engine, more air means better performance. Ram, hog the road. Time now for the Lucas Oil Sportsman Spotlight. This week, Jay Blake, a remarkable young man from my neck of the woods, Cape Cod, Massachusetts, lost his sight in a garage accident several years ago. He and his brother Jim campaigned a top alcohol funny car driven by another old friend from Massachusetts, Arnie Karp.
Jay's had an accident several years ago where he lost his sight, and he lost more than his sight. He lost some self-esteem, and he lost a lot. And I've been through that. I was sick for many years with polycystic kidney disease. I think he saw in me a lot of parallels. I think he saw in me being knocked down, being sick, getting back up, getting in a race car, getting knocked down again, getting back up again. This whole team, this is a great team. It really is a dream.
And we've got an anniversary. It was 10 years ago, right here in Englishtown, that Kurt Johnson was the first to go 6 seconds in a Pro Stock automobile during Friday night qualifying. It was quite a night for Kurt Johnson. He'll long remember it. In fact, let's go to Dave Reef, who's with KJ right now.
And talk about what happened here 10 years ago. I imagine it is still one of the biggest things that you've accomplished in your racing career, Kurt.
Oh, absolutely. 10 years ago, we run 698, 196 miles an hour. First Pro Stocker ever run in the sixes, and it was just a fantastic night that night. Perfectly straight run. Something I'll never forget.
Till the championship that hopefully comes, that's the high spot?
Oh, absolutely. You know, Holly put up $25,000 for that night, and we took advantage of it.
Let's not forget about his dad on Father's Day, the first cat at 200, Bill.
And let's not forget about our final eliminations coming up later today at 5 o'clock Eastern Time on ESPN. It should be a fabulous day of racing. Beautiful sunshine, 70-degree weather. We're going to have some fun. Join us 5 o'clock Eastern on ESPN. All right, we're going to get out of here. We'll see you next week from Madison, Illinois. Coming up is the 125 AMA Motocross. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. For more, log on to ESPN.com.
All I got to say, he's back. So what does it mean when a guy who has not lost a race in nearly 2 years says, I'm back? Well, for anyone going after a slice of the championship pie, it could mean a very long summer. Brock Hepler is currently runner-up to the throne and sits just ahead of a crowd of veterans who consider James Stewart to be their only threat to the title. But the Sands of Southwick respect nobody, not even Bubba, who has never won at the local 338. The 125 AMA Motocross Championship battle soldiers on right here on ESPN2. Hello, everyone, and once again, it's a beautiful day for AMA Chevrolet Motocross. Today we are in Southwick, Massachusetts. You can see the place is packed with motocross fans. They have come to see the third round of the 2004 championships. Hello, I'm Davey Coombs, filling in for Todd Harris, and joining me is Cameron Steele, and we are at what is easily the roughest motocross track on the AMA circuit, Southwick Motocross 338. We're taking a look at some of the riders down on the starting gate. This is the third round of the 125 championships. Of course, James Stewart with a perfect score. He has won all 4 motos to date. He's got a 1 moto lead over the rookie, Brock Hepler. However, he's come to a place that he's never won before. Stewart made his first appearance here in 2002 and promptly pulled away from the pack in the first moto, only to have this KX 125 seized. But the second moto, he came out and he laid down the law, letting everyone know he was the fastest man on the track. However, the overall win went to Danny Smith. Now Stewart is back for a little redemption.
You know, it doesn't really matter what bike, you know, we're here at Southwick, and I think the guy that's in shape is going to win this race. So, I feel really good. You know, 2 years ago I had the fastest lap time out of everybody here, and so, that makes me feel good. And, I got to go. I'm trying to have fun, and I'm trying to get a good points lead. So, and try to keep on winning some races, I'll tell you.
Well, if Bubba keeps laying down lap times like he did today, a 1:55, that's almost a 2:50 time, Cameron, and he did it on a KX 125.
Yeah, and a lot of people are talking about the four strokes, and the guy who's had problems on the four strokes so far in the outdoor season, Ivan Tedesco, who has the West Coast championship from Supercross. Nate Ramsey also has been up to snuff, so to speak, and he's definitely looking for a podium this weekend.
Tedesco came out early and did some track time, snuck in there with the factory connections guys, trying to learn how to ride the sand. And here's a rider who doesn't need a lot of lessons, Mike Brown, the veteran. We spoke to him a little bit earlier.
1 point out was second, and a few points from Stuart Stowe. If I'm getting second this week, and be on Stuart. If he makes a mistake, be there. If not, then you got to beat him, or you're going to be behind him. But no, it's not bad. At least I'm being consistent, and hopefully this weekend I can gain points on everybody.
Well, he's going to have a great track to try to do just that on. Cameron, tell us about Southwick.
Well, they've added some sections over the last couple years. It's up to 1.5 miles of pure motocross hell. Whooped out, sandy, grab your brakes, you're going over the bars. This place is a nightmare for riders that don't want to ride it.
Of course, Southwick has been around since 1972. One of the founding members, Bernie Yellen, passed away earlier this spring, and this whole event this year is kind of a celebration of Bernie, one of the hardest working men in motocross. He was a great giver. He was an innovator, and I tell you what, he was also the guy who invented the backward falling starting gate. A lot of people don't know that. You see some of the riders down there clearing out a path. They have a paved start down here. Otherwise, they would dig themselves a big hole in the sand. As we switch over to the Honda starting grid, Stewart at the top of the charts. Keep an eye on number 60, Brock Kepler. This is his first visit. Also, number 289, Matt Gorky, making his first ever professional motocross appearance. Gavin Graysick, another rookie. Let's go down to the start. Cameron is standing by.
Well, it's Thumper Madness here at Southwick. 40 bikes on the gate, only 4 over 2 strokes. One's James Stewart. He's the fastest in practice, but he's never won here before. He was injured last year, not able to ride, and then a broken headset kept him out the first time. They're going racing. It's time to have a good time. Let's see if he can do it today.
And right into the first turn, it looks like a Honda, and that is Factory Connections. Chris Gosler in a big pile up in the first turn. It looks like there's Matt Walker, 122. 61 is Troy Adams. Brock Sellards is down, and there's Davey Millsaps. Once again, a hard luck start for the Team Suzuki rookie. So up front, it's Gosler, it's Ramsey, and then it looks like it's Stefan Runcada, number 21 of the Pro Circuit Kawasaki team. And check out how rough the track is. Those are not man-made whoops. Again, not man-made whoops. The track formed up like that. And Gosler, another rider who spent some time here this week practicing, looks like he's put those lessons to good use. He is out front. Ramsey second, Runcada third.
Well, the hot rumor was they weren't going to be doing any grooming on this track after the amateur races and the week of pro practice. Truth is, they did a little bit of grooming in the corners and on the faces of the few jumps here. Now let's take a look back at the start. Davey, looks like Millsaps maybe running right up the inside there. And oh!
Looks like he hooked Bubba.
Flips the back of Bubba. Bubba going into the turn, and Millsaps up and over and starting possibly chain reactions and crashes on the other side of that. But we're talking about how rough the track is, and it doesn't seem to be slowing down Brock Kepler right now.
Again, this is Brock Kepler's first visit to Southwick Motocross 338. If you recall, the only other sand race he was in this year, Daytona, he did not qualify for that Supercross. And now he's trying to go on the inside of Schnell. Gets a little hung up there. Stewart trying some different lines. They're getting ready to come back through that section that looks like stadium whoops, but they're not. This is your battle for 5th place. You see some of the Kanks waving the riders on.
Not only is it the battle for 5th place, but this is the championship battle basically right now with Kepler sitting in 2nd place. He needs to be able to say, hey, I can stay in front of Bubba. And right now, it looks like Bubba's looking for ways around, picking different lines here, following him. But this tight section up here, we'll see if Bubba can make some time on him.
Again, we are very early in the first 125 moto here at Southwick Motocross 338. Your leader is Chris Gosler. Ramsey is second. Stefan Roncada is third, and this is the battle for fifth between the series runner-up right now, Brock Kepler and James Stewart. Oh, and Roncada gets a little sideways there.
Saving it, almost getting the high side and bringing it back. And I can tell you, when you're out on this track watching the ruts develop, it is so scary. You can see his